All right, this should be entertaining, I would say. We're going to go through the Tennessee players that are in the transfer portal. And, Jimmy, I'm going to give you and Caleb 3 options. Testing the waters to see what they could get paid elsewhere, or all out booted, where Josh Heupel says, you might be better off going somewhere else, or they're leaving because they just want to leave, which was actually what the transfer portal was designed for. So let me start with Tamarian McDonald. Jimmy?
I'm going to say leave because he wanted to leave.
Okay. Caleb?
Sorry, which one? I missed that last one.
Tamarian McDonald.
Tamarian McDonald. Leave because he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave, yeah.
Deshaun Rucker, Jimmy?
Leave because he wanted to leave.
Okay, you don't think he was asked to leave? I thought you might say he was asked to leave.
I don't know the answer to that because he hadn't been there very long, and I don't know. So I'm going to say, and part of this is, and the reason I say that, Rucker might look at it and say, this coaching staff isn't playing me. I'm out of here. I don't know that they had to say, hey, Rucker, you need to leave. I think he looked at the writing on the wall and decided to go. So.
Yeah, good point. I hadn't been there long. We barely know what he looks like. Danico Slaughter.
Well, wow. Dave didn't even let me answer that one. Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Rucker.
I want to agree because I'm going to agree that it was he wanted to leave because he wasn't playing, but they kept him in for 3 years. So if they wanted him gone, they would have nudged him out a couple years ago.
Okay, Danico Slaughter.
I think he's in it trying to find more money in NIL.
You think he's gone, or just testing the waters?
Testing the waters.
I would go with testing the waters as well, Caleb.
I'm going to go testing the waters, and I think it's revealing that he's testing the waters because he wasn't that good when he was in there last year, guys. And we all think he was a total waste of potential. Like potential, he may be the best player on that secondary, and he never lived up to it.
We think that, but he might not think that.
Yeah, he might thought he was the second coming of Deion Sanders. Kids think that a lot. Orrin Burrell, Jimmy.
Gosh, I'm going to say he was probably asked to leave. He actually played more when he was early in his career. And I think Tennessee looked at it and said, this guy's not accomplishing anything. To me, it's a tough distinction between asked to leave and wanting to leave. And he's already committed to Georgia Tech, which is not a bad program. But I'm going to say they probably said, hey, wouldn't be a bad idea for you to try your skills somewhere else.
And just, Caleb, I want to get your answer, but just for the record, I've agreed.
Yeah, I want Caleb's answer.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on all of these. Burrell, Caleb.
Okay, this seems like it was a mutual one in the sense of, so as Jimmy remembers, when Alontae Taylor opted out of the bowl game 2 years ago, Warren Burrell became the number 1 cornerback, and man, Purdue had a field day with him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was it was worse than Kamal Hadden against South Carolina last year. And so I think he wants to be a number 1 cornerback. He's delusional because he's never going to be one. And I think Josh Heupel and the coaching staff then told him, look, you're not going to be a number 1 cornerback here at Tennessee. If you want to be a number 1 cornerback, you need to go somewhere else.
I'm going to save the biggest for last, which is Tyler Barron. In my opinion, that would be the most significant. Addison Nichols, guys, I can tell you, give you a little insight there. I don't think they were particularly happy with his development. I wouldn't be surprised if he was asked to leave at all, Jim.
I would go with that as well. But what's odd about that is that Glenn Ellerby, Tennessee's offensive line coach, was speaking at the quarterback club in probably late October. And he said one of the bright young offensive linemen that is very promising is Addison Nichols. And so that doesn't add up based on the things I heard after that. Was Ellerby being nice and kind to him? I don't know. But he was asked directly, who are some of the young offensive linemen that you're very high on? And he mentioned Nichols as one of them.
I'm with y'all. I think they asked him to leave. Jimmy, I think they were high on him. I just think they needed him to have a little bit of a mean streak that he never got. Addison Nichols is the Blake Griffin of football. For those who don't know, Blake Griffin was super athletic, but the book out was if you cheap shot him under the basket, he backs off.
Maybe the Zion Williamson of. But,
no, Zion Williamson is just fat and lazy.
Brandon Turnage.
Asked to leave.
think so too. Caleb?
I actually think he left because he wanted to, but because he wasn't playing. Because they kept him around for, again, 3 years. So I'm going to say 1 and 2.
So I'm looking at this on 3 list of the transfer portal guys. I want to get to Tyler Barron. Anybody care to guess, Jim, what Addison Nichols' value is according to on 3, which this is the silliest endeavor in covering sports that I've ever seen. You want to care to guess what Addison Nichols is worth?
$500.
$239,000.
What?
Oh,
we were close.
Which leads us to Tyler Barron is worth $437,000. I think he's the most significant player that I've listed. What do you think he's doing? What are his plans?
Testing the waters.
You think he ends up back at Tennessee?
Depends on how much they're willing to pay him.
I agree. Caleb, what do you think?
Testing the waters, and it is the most short-sighted decision ever because he is missing a golden opportunity to play opposite James Pierce next year, and he is doing what John Calipari said don't do. He's tripping over Nichols and throwing away millions because playing opposite James Pierce, he could turn himself into a top 3 round draft pick next year.
Yep, I tend to agree with all that. Herald Group Security Solutions brings you portions of the program leadership, experience, specialization, addressing problems through unique mission-specific mitigation techniques. They will protect your children in school. Right now, they're with private schools. We're pushing to get them in public schools as well. Protect your workplace so we can avoid some of the tragedies that have been a part of our country's recent history, and it's out there. So here's what you need to do. Go to your child's school administrator, tell them to look up Herald Group Security Solutions, or for your workplace as well. Herald Group Security Solutions. It's listed right down below, heraldgrp.com. And then I'm going to kick it to Caleb for a little Jonas Adu. He had quite the statement at our 3:45 a.m. production meeting. How good do you think Jonas Adu is?
Real quick, we forgot Jack Luttrell as a transfer, but I think he was asked to leave.
What did you think, Jim, on Luttrell?
It's hard to argue with that. God, the guy's here 1 year, probably. There might have been some issues at work that I don't know about, but I'd say probably has to leave.
All right, good point.